Good Tuesday morning to you. It is February 2nd, Groundhog's Day. I hope you have a blessed one and enjoy some of the beautiful weather. I want to share a little bit with you this morning. I was going through one of my old Bibles as I was doing some Bible study this morning, and I ran across 1 Corinthians 13 specifically, where Paul talks about the spiritual gifts. And he describes the spiritual gifts and ways that we can demonstrate godly living in the world. He touches on the gifts of tongues, prophecy with understanding, faith that could move mountains. Yet, somehow, he passes all of these things for just one thing: love. In 1 Corinthians 13:13, he says, "Three things will last forever: hope, faith, and love, and the greatest of these is love." And I have found myself skipping over these verses with a thought of, yep, I've got those. I know that verse. Been trying to practice those. But then I started reading through some of my notes that I had written down in this area, and I wanted to share a little bit about that with you. And I've heard these verses read over and over again, but I've often forgot about the application and the power of it. What is it for? Why are these things the things that will last forever? The greatest power in our lives is contained in these verses. We just have the task of unfolding the purpose in order to connect with this. So we're going to break it down. First, what is the purpose of faith? Faith is the first thing we learn as Christians, right? Hebrews 11:1 gives a clear definition of faith. And it reads, "Faith is a confidence that what we hope for will actually happen. It gives us an assurance about things we cannot see." And I think it's completely amazing that the simplicity of that, right, is faith is the confidence of things that we can't see, that we can hope for, but know that it will actually happen. Jesus himself tells us in Luke 17:6, he says, "If you have faith even as small as a mustard seed, you can say to the mulberry bush, 'Be uprooted and thrown yourself into the sea,' and it will obey you." I mean, think about that for a minute. The mustard seed, one of the tiniest seeds in the world, Jesus uses as an analogy to say, even with that little tiny faith in him, not in things of this world, but in him, that you can tell a tree to be uprooted and go throw yourself into the sea, and it will do it. The purpose of faith, though, is not to influence my own comfort. The purpose of faith is to lead us to know the heart of God and to trust his ways to guide us. I believe in Hebrews 11:6 gives us the life application of this. It says like this, it says, "For we have come to God in faith, knowing that he is real and that he will reward faith for those who passionately seek him." So we can't really have a relationship with God without faith in God. And what about hope? Google defines hope as a feeling of expectation or desire for certain things to happen. It can be also defined as a feeling of trust. So faith is the belief that there is something better to seek, while hope is the expression, or the expectation, or the certainty that it is there and it will happen. Hope is the fuel that keeps faith alive in our quest to find love. And then the greatest of the three is love. What is the purpose of love? Paul makes it again very clear in 1 Corinthians 13:13 that the greatest of all the spiritual gifts is love. And based on this, we know that love is the result that we see our faith and from our faith and our hope. Love is the goal. The purpose of love is evident in 1 John 4:7-8, that it is the clearest picture of God that we see. It states, "Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Anyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. And it goes on in verse 19, it says, we love because God first loved us. So the purpose of love is twofold. First, it is the revelation of identity. It tells us who God is and who we are in God. And secondly, it is the very power that allows us to do the work of Jesus, and even greater works than Jesus described. In John 14:12, Jesus says this, whoever believes in me will also do the works I have done, and even greater works, because I'm going to be with the Father. Love has the power to help us believe again and to restore hope in others. It is the engine that drives our spiritual life. I want to leave you with this prayer. God, thank you for loving me. Thank you for my life and giving me wisdom needed to walk with you. I pray that I will continue to seek your wisdom so that I will continue to grow close to you, and that I will stay full of faith, hope, and then demonstrate that in love. I look for ways to carry out your work and to help all those around me that are in need. Amen. And may you have a great and blessed day.